We're going. Good morning, Jimmy.
Ruthie rocks. Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm excited about the new week. I'm excited about last month. I'm excited about this month. I'm just excited. That's how I am. How are you?
Well, I'm excited too.
Good.
I think there's a lot going on and a lot of value we can give to people, and that always makes us feel good.
Can I tell you something? Excitement is 10 times more contagious than coronavirus. 10 times more. All we got to do is be excited. We'll infect everybody around us. Yay.
Yay. That would be great. That would be great. Okay. Gee, I missed you yesterday. And I had some inspirational quotes that I think we were going to read the 23rd Psalm yesterday, which we didn't get a chance to do. So anyway, I just wanted to say what Lou Holtz says to start off the show and say, without self-discipline, success is impossible. And I think that's a really good quote. And discipline is the foundation on which all success is built, and lack of discipline inevitably leads to failure. And that was Jim Rohn. Mm-hmm. And life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And that was by Charles Swindoll. And I have to say that, growing up, my mother was a really fantastic, bright woman. And she used to tell me all the time that life isn't fair. Life is not fair. It's how you deal with it. So I think that we all need to really digest that. Life isn't fair, but we have to deal with it.
Well, inspiration is around for all of us all the time. We just have to go get it. It's that old thing about your ship's not going to come in. You got to swim out to meet it. But there's like these quotes are inspirational. There's so many YouTube videos from people that have it so tough. Life isn't fair. And they have overcome that adversity. And they're doing things that are like really unbelievable.
Yes. Yeah. I see that. And I look back on some of the things that have happened to friends of mine. Brian Buffini has been a friend of mine for years, and what adversity he's gone through and the things that he's done to overcome it all the time. He just overcomes it all the time. And here's another punch in the gut, if you will, for him too, because he's got hundreds of employees. And but anyway, what do you have for us today, Jimmy?
Well, let me break it down to today's Monday, and we talk about different things, different strategies. But the one thing that really hasn't changed is the number one key performance indicator for an agent right now and has always been, how many conversations have you had? What are you doing? Not what are you thinking, not how are you feeling, what are you actually doing? And in those conversations, if your message is the right message, people know that you love them. So the message has got to be, how are you doing? I don't even talk about real estate, but I still have to have those conversations. There's always been a funnel from conversations to people that are actually interested, to people that are going to do business right now. There's always been, and there's different funnels. And you know what? I think I would like to record some slides for our thing tomorrow. And maybe we can get Kane to put those up, because there are some slides that kind of really bring this point home. A picture's worth 1,000 words. And if you love me, how would I know? Are you spending any time reaching out to me? You don't need to come see me, but at least call me.
Yes, or text me.
That would be good too. Any contact, just reach out and touch me.
Well, that's true. You want to talk about the statistics, or shall I talk about what Dr. Young said?
Well, let's do the statistics, because you have said over and over again, facts are the antidote for fear. And here are the facts. In MLS, from March 26th to April 1st, that week, there were 754 new listings that went on the market. There were 784 closings. More houses came off the market than went on the market. If you're thinking of selling, this would be a really good time. Well, Jim, those deals were already in escrow before all this feces hit the oscillator. You're right, they were already in process, but it tells me 784 people did not back out or withdraw from the deal. They went ahead and they pulled the trigger and they closed the transaction. That's significant. Now, in the last week, there have been 501 new contracts written that were accepted, 501 new under contracts in that week period from 3/26 to 4/1. So if you're working, even if you're working smart and you're working virtual and you're using your gloves and your face mask, all those things about working smart, that shows that you care. But to not show up, shows me that you don't care. Because there are 501 people that actually, there were 3,519 closings for March, even with all this craziness, which is up 5% over last year. We're going to be up enough. I think that there's going to be a slowdown in April, no question. And you're going to talk about Dr. Young's statements about that, because traffic is down. And the funnel is traffic has to happen first. Then some of that traffic turns into leads. Some of those leads turn into listings, and some of those listings turn into transactions. And that's the funnel for us in real estate. And that's the slides I want to give you for tomorrow's broadcast. Transaction come last. It's first, it's traffic, then it's leads, then it's listings, then it's transactions. That's what I would say.
You know, hold on a second. Let me find if I can find my show. Probably not. Okay, so yesterday I think I talked about that our market since 2015, the price, and I'm going to go from memory because I don't see my notes. The price in 2015 was about, average price of a home was $235,000. And today it's $334,000. So that's almost a 30% increase in equity for people who have been in their home at least 5 years. And you had, I think I referred to yesterday, I think this was yesterday, I talked about it, because you have the stats of 20%, I think, of the people in Las Vegas own their homes free and clear.
It's actually 35%.
35%? Okay, I got to write that down because I keep.
So and that's from the Census Bureau, by the way.
Yeah, so that's free and clear. And then you had a stat about how much value they had in equity as well. Do you remember?
I don't remember the number, but I can tell you the average net worth. That's one of the things we talked about. The Treasury puts out a thing about the difference in net worth between a renter and a homeowner, and it's over $200,000. Why would you rent?
Yeah, so the net worth of a homeowner is over 200. And to that point, if houses have increased from 235 to 334 in 5 years, that's a lot of money and a lot of percentages. A lot of, well, 30% is a lot. So the market would have to really go down to put us in any danger for our industry.
Well, I know you have Dr. Young's comments, but I will tell you, it's been a very steady climb. It's about $20,000 per year every year for the last 5 years. It's very, very close to about the same number every year. So it's not been some run up in prices because we had no inventory. It's been very consistent, very gradual. About everybody who's renting has been throwing away about $20,000 a year for the last 5 years.
Yes, and just to that one point, though, I think it was 2018 where we had 13% increase in value. So even the people that have been in their homes 3 years still have, at least 20% to 25% equity in their home. So I think that. Go ahead. Well, I just think that says a lot about. Many markets, the restaurants, the casinos, there's so many markets right now that are just being shattered, but I don't think real estate is one of them.
Well, and if you bought in 2015, using those numbers, you have $200 and some $1,000. Your average house payment would have been about $1,100. And you shared with us the other day, the average rent in Las Vegas right now is $1,654. Not only did you go up $20,000, but you saved another $500 a month in your house payment. That's huge.
I think that when this is over, and this too shall pass, that we have a lot of statistics that we need to include in our conversations with buyers, prospective buyers, new homeowners, first-time home buyers, and renters to become first-time home buyers or new home buyers. That should be so compelling that if we go through this pandemic and real estate still is where the money is, where the value is, where their net worth can increase, like you said. I think we have a compelling story to tell, and to segue into what Dr. Young reported. And Dr. Young sent an email actually to Brian Buffini last Friday morning, and he basically said that listings will start decreasing. This is nationwide, which we know, and buyers will start decreasing, which nationwide, and people will not be able to buy a house that don't have a job. So to that point, prices won't decrease though. We're not doing anything to decrease the prices. And he said that the upper end market will probably slow down more than the average, because people in that upper bracket are looking at the stock market and seeing their losses there. But the good news is they're not going to sell their house for less than they feel it's worth. They've taken a hit in the stock market. They're not going to sell their major asset or one of their major assets for less than it's worth. So if buyers make offers on a $750,000 home, and halfway through the escrow they say, well, I'm not going to close unless you take $600,000. They're not going to do that. Right. And most of them don't have to do that. And to your point about the interest rates being low over the past several years, they probably can sustain themselves. So, and a lot of them are free and clear as well. So I agree with him that the upper market will slow down, but it's going to be tight and steady as far as pricing is concerned. And then Young does not see a big decrease in any pricing through the end of the year. In fact, he said that he sees an increase in the market toward the end of the year with price gains. So that was his message to Brian Buffini last Friday. And I think those are really encouraging words. And I want to tell everybody that on Wednesday, NAR is going to be doing a Facebook Live on Wednesday at 12 o'clock Central Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, so that would mean 10 o'clock our time. So I think we all need to be aware, and I will put an announcement out on Facebook that the realtors should really tune into that. And NAR's committed to putting our members first, and they're here to support us, and they're doing everything they can to help our business. They call this our turbulent times and uncertain times. And they're just armed with information for us and insights to help clarify resources and connect us with solutions. One of the things that they just did, and I don't know if everybody's aware of this, but they recently made a deal with telehealth. And telehealth, if you go on to your NAR.realtor, telehealth is offering 2 months, funding 2 months of telehealth access if you don't have health insurance. And NAR paid for this. So if you do most insurance, if you do have health insurance, most of your companies are providing this same service. But if you don't have it, if you don't have health insurance, telehealth is providing access. So I just think that's an important note that everybody should go on to NAR. And they make it really easy if you haven't gone there, because I think a lot of agents don't go to NAR.realtor. It's really easy to set up your login, and the system will find your NAR number if you give them the credentials they want, which you should know your last name and your email address. And then they'll provide a sign in for you, and then you just create your username and your password, and then you can get in there. And one of the things that I took from all of this when I went into Right Tools Right Now, that's NAR.realtor/right-tools-right-now, and I posted that, is they are providing information for us to send out, just like I implored everybody to send out the the Brian Buffini and Dr. Young podcast, and the podcast with Dr. Ben Carson. This coronavirus resources for property owners, we posted that on everybody's website and sent it out to everybody's database. And I would just implore everybody that if you don't have them in your database, go and join my group. If you join my group, you'll have access to all these PDFs that NAR has put out. And the reason why you cannot put a PDF on a personal page, or I would. So you have to join the group to get easy access to these resources. And it's, and I'll post that in just a second. Let's see, I have it right here. It's real easy to join the group. You just say, I want to join. And I'm the administrator and I sign you up. So it's facebook.com/groups/Las Vegas Millionaires.
Is there an
And
E on millionaires, Ruthie? Las Vegas Millionaires, is there an E on there?
no,
No?
what do you mean?
Okay. At the end of the
No,
string,
that's
yes.
that's the way it's spelled. That's the
Okay,
way
good.
the group is spelled. Yeah.
Good to know. Good. I'm actually already a member, so I just wanted to make sure that was correct. It is.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And then we also, just so everybody knows what we're doing, we also posted this. This is the coronavirus signs and symptoms. And we also attached a download to that on everybody's website. So NAR had another good PDF that they put out. So anyway, all these resources are available to you, and this is information that you can share. Like Jimmy said, show them you love them, show your people you love them, and it's not just like, hi, how you doing? You can say, hi, how you doing? I want to share this information with you. And especially, I mean, this one I just think is brilliant. This resources for property owners, and it took us a day to actually get it up right because of all the links in there. And there's so many links in there for people to, for you to share that the homeowners are really going to appreciate. And how many people are doing this? It's like Jimmy says, we got to work. So anyway, that's really cool. NAR has the tele insurance. They have the live they're going to do on Wednesday. And then they have all these other resources that they're giving us. And so
this is what people are thinking about. This is what they're interested in. And by what you're telling me, this is how you bring value. You bring value to talking about what they're interested in. And if we can be the voice of reason, there's about 3 million people in Nevada. Okay. So 10% would be 300,000. 1% would be 30,000. We haven't even had 1% of the people in Nevada tested. We've had about 18,000 people tested here. So it's about a half of 1% have been tested. And these are the people that think they have it. Of the ones that have been tested, 90% said, you don't have it. You think you have it, you don't have it. 1,800 tested positive. Of those, 46 have died. It's a 65,000 to 1 chance you're going to die from this. That's the numbers, 65,200 to 1 that this is going to kill you. You have a bigger chance of getting killed by suicide, killing yourself, than from this virus. So the hysteria that's come out, for us to give them those numbers and not be hysterical ourselves and to infect them with the positivity. Here's the facts. The truth is more suicides than coronavirus deaths. That's just sad, but that's just the numbers. It's 1,827 to 1 that you'd even contract the disease. But I want to talk about strategy for 1 minute, because
sure,
we have these meetings, and I want to make sure that they walk away with something that's going to make them some money. And all of your personal growth, all of your business growth, all of your growth period are going to come from 3 things. There's going to come from your intake, your associations, and your affirmations. And your affirmations is what we've been preaching the last week and a half, Ruthie. What are you saying when you talk to yourself? What are your affirmations? I'm excited. I'm saying that this morning because it's just the truth. I'm excited. And that's my affirmations. Nobody gets to choose my affirmations for me. I'm totally 100% responsible and able to do whatever affirmations I want. The second thing is your associations. Who are you hanging around? And that's why it's important for me to be with you on this call and be with, like, Karen, the people that weigh in here. These are people that are thinking about, how do I serve? If to love is to serve, or if to serve is to love, then that's what we need to be doing right now. We need to be loving one another. So that's serving. But the other thing is, it's your associations, your affirmations, and your intake. And here's the deal. The intake that you have right now, if you're watching the news, fear is what sells. If it bleeds, it leads. There's so much out there right now in the news that is causing people to get these thoughts that they have. If I could give you one piece of advice, it would be go to work. But if I could give you a second piece of advice, it would be stop watching the freaking news. Limit yourself. If you want to watch one news program for 15 or 20 minutes to find out what's going on in the world, that's fine. But to have your television on, every channel, every news station has all this stuff, and it's a bunch of hype. And the truth is, it's not true. What they're saying is just the numbers do not support the amount of craziness that's going on right now. The numbers just don't support it. 65,200 to 1 that you're going to get that in Nevada. I mean, come on. Really?
Say that again for everybody to
65
really digest it.
65,200 to 1 that you're going to die from the coronavirus. 65,000. You have a bigger chance of committing suicide. If you're not suicidal, you're not going to get the coronavirus.
That's amazing. I mean, there's just so much. The government has thrown $2 trillion at this pandemic, and a trillion is a million millions. And now they're talking about even throwing more money at it. And it'll be interesting to see on the other side how people how we recover from that. I do know that the casinos, and Jimmy, I don't know if you said this last week, but the casinos average have about 9 months to a year and a half in reserves to be able to keep their doors open, while there's no business, or be able to keep their business in business while there's no business. So that's some positivity I want to get out there. The town's not going to shut down because of this. And I talked to a previous district attorney who happens to live on my block this morning when I was out doing my walk. And he said that he believes he's only a couple years older than me, but with his experience, he believes that, by July, things will be back to normal. And I think that, what back to normal is subjective to whatever, I guess, business you're in. But what do you think?
Well, here's what I think. The H1N1 virus infected a lot more people than this has. I mean, a lot more. It took them 1 year to find an antidote for when it hit. And I'm going to put these slides up for everybody tomorrow, and you can go over with Kane. But it took them 1 year to find a vaccine. I don't think it's going to take them a year to find a vaccine for this, because every country on the planet is faced with this, and they're all scared with it. And the scientists are collaborating in a way that they never have before. Bill Gates was on Trevor Noah's The Daily Show yesterday. And Bill Gates said, you know what, he's thrown $100 million at this. He is building right now under construction 7 different plants to manufacture whatever vaccine comes out. Because he says, Bill Gates said this, there are 7 potential vaccines that look very promising. He said they'll probably only end up with 1 or 2, but they're building all 7 plants because they don't know which 2 or which one. So they're already ramping up for production for these, and they're doing live testing on human right now in many places in the world. So we're going to fix this. I said 30 days. That's what I said on the 19th. I said by the 19th of April, I think we'll have an announcement that there's something that will fix this. And I think the strategy is for the next 18 days, Parliament closed down until April 15th. And when we look at the world situation and see how different countries have dealt with this, that might give us some guide as to what's happening here. And you've already alluded to this. What happens to traffic? What happens to leads? What happens to transactions? And there's other places we can look at that give us some clue as to what's happened, because they got it before we did. And some of those countries, like the UK, you can buy a house. Italy, you can buy a house. So there's a lesson there for us. But I think the main lesson is keep your attitude right. Keep your mindset right. Be enthusiastic. There is business going on. People don't know there's business going on right now because you drive down the streets, it looks like a science fiction movie. There's like no cars.
Yes, that's true. So Jimmy, have you had any, I know you said yesterday was a thinking day. Have you had any feelings of OMG?
Only here's what, if they have given away $2 trillion already, my biggest fear is the government, because their inflation is caused by printing money. That's what causes inflation. You print money. The government earns money through taxes. Our gross domestic product, we pay taxes on that. That's how the government earns money. They don't earn money by printing it, but that's what they just did. They just printed $2 trillion more. If you don't buy a house right now and inflation catches you by surprise, you're an idiot. I'm sorry, can I just say that? If inflation catches you by surprise, you are an idiot. They're telling us they've printed $2 trillion and they're maybe going to print another $4 trillion. This is what causes inflation. Inflation is one of the things that causes real estate to go up in value. It doesn't go up in value, it just goes up in cost and price. It doesn't go up in value. You still have to have a place to live. You're still going to have to pay rent or make a house payment somewhere. But this government reaction that we have for a 65,000 to 1 chance This government reaction is so extreme. It's so extreme. What scares me is the government. That's what scares me right now. That's my thing. I was scared for about 4 minutes yesterday in my thinking. 4 minutes. That's all I allowed myself. After that, I got excited.
Well, I want to just let everybody know that in these downloads that you're going to get in my group, I really believe that real estate agents who are independent contractors need to file for unemployment. If the money's there, I think they need to get it so they can sustain themselves through the next month, 2 months, or 3 months. The worst case scenario to me would be 3 months, but we'll see. But I think, if you need the money and the government's providing it, it doesn't hurt to take it because they've already allocated it. What do you think, Jimmy?
I think the phrase that I heard was be around for the rebound. You got to be around for the rebound. And if that means staying in business, if that means getting a government loan, you may or may not have to pay it back. But if that's what keeps you in business, I mean, as a real estate professional, part of your business strategy, it has to be, how do I stay in the business? How do I, just keep coming to work every day and serving people? And that might be the strategy you have to employ. If that's what you need, then do it.
And my friend told me this morning that, of course, he's been listening to Bill Gates. And if anybody listened to Bill Gates 5 years ago, Bill Gates predicted on TED that the only thing that could really cause us major destruction is a pandemic. And I mean, Bill Gates has the answers from the business perspective and from the health perspective, because he and his wife they just donated $100 million to finding a cure for this virus. And Bill Gates believes that with all of the resources and the fact that this is affecting the world and some of the best scientists and doctors in the world are coming together, that we will find a cure for this faster than people think we will. And that's my optimism coming out. But I mean, they could come out with a cure tomorrow. Then what happens?
Well, the Gates Foundation was started as their initial mission was to end malaria in the world. And malaria is a virus that's passed from mosquitoes or whatever. And it's a virus. So they have many years of experience on working with viruses and figuring this stuff out. I'm still convicted. Within 30 days, we'll see a vaccine that works. Within 30 days, I'm hoping by April 19th, because then I'll be right again. I love it when I'm right.
Well, we're going to love it when you're right. And I'm optimistic with you. And when I hear people like Bill Gates say that we are going to find a cure for this, and once we find the cure, we've got some garbage we're going to have to clean up. But at the end of the day, we're going to be back in business. And it's just this has been such a different, what do I want to say, business impact. It's like we had to stop business. If businesses can get back up on their feet, but it has affected everybody, not just one particular segment of the business world. I think that's what my point is, that, we're all affected. And so when we all get back to going to restaurants, and maybe we'll start double tipping, like Brian Buffini says, he says, if I can just get to a restaurant, I'm going to double tip my waiter. He's so cool. But, once the doors open again, I mean, I think that the economy is just going to go crazy. I think it's going to be a great thing.
Well, here's my last thought, and I'm going to sign off. Here's my last thought. We are being forced to remodel how we are doing our business. We're being forced to rethink and retool and figure out a new way to work. It's been forced on us by this pandemic. But every business that closes during remodeling, how do you catch up? As a real estate professional, we are called an essential service for a reason. You need to be open during remodeling. You need to pay attention to the number one key performance indicator, reaching out, keeping in touch, just talking about what's on their mind. Let's just talk to me. Show them you love them. And when it's time for them to get back in the market, and there's a lot of people that are in the market right now, 500 closings in 1 week, or 500 open deals in a week. And that's with all this craziness going on. There's people out there buying a house. If you're not getting them, it's because you closed during remodeling. Don't do that. Be open during remodeling. That's what I would say.
Jimmy, you're brilliant. That's a great statement. I love that. So until tomorrow, I hope everybody stays healthy. Wear your mask, wear your gloves. just
sign up
go.
sign up for the Buffini Pathways class too. Do that. Sign up for Buffini's Pathways.
Yes. And we're going to have some other classes to sign up. Jimmy, you and I are going to get together, 11 o'clock at my office today. And I'd like to do some strategizing on some of the Zooms that we could do and start getting some of these agents watching us and learning so that they're prepared when the remodeling's finished.
Well, I'm 10 minutes away from you. So when Kane and you are ready, call me and I'll come over.
I'll just be there at 11.
Okay. All right.
Save me a phone call.
Okay. I'll see you at
I mean,
11.
I'll text you.
I'll see you at 11. I'll see you at 11.
Okay.
That's good. All
Bye,
right.
everybody. Thank you. We love you. Bye, everybody. Bye.